By the way, I was looking at some footage yesterday, and I noticed you occasionally just kind of flip off my camera.
There's your frame, boot. Now you need to paint in there or something.
Yeah, we used a weld through zinc coating for that. Prevent that rusting on the inside, and then I'm also gonna eventually get the whole frame and everything rust checked. Not a rubber undercoating, but like proper rust check. We're gonna put a big clamp on here to push this to here, but we got this measured from this frame line down to the bottom of here and from here to here to make sure it's nice and straight. This is clamped to here. This is clamped in here. We've got this on here to make sure it's holding it straight twist wise. The frame rail extension is just being held in there. And then we're gonna put one more clamp to push this inwards on both sides. And then we're gonna tack in the frame rail extension. It's looking pretty good. That's what we got going so far. So one more clamp and then we'll get tacking it in. It's all welded in now on this side. So you got to do the bottom tab on the other side, and then we can move on to the torque box and extensions and whatnot. And then we're also going to close up this little gap here afterwards, but it's not the main concern right now. So it started to rain, so this is our solution. Okay, it's getting pretty dark out, so I cleaned all this metal up and sprayed it with the self-etching primer. Floor is good to go on this side now, and then we'll get self-tapping screws to hold it in, and then tack welded into place, and then weld it in the rest of the way. We'll get some light in here after. But that's just finishing up welding in the torque box and frame rail on this side. yeah, so I'll just toss that in there, zip down some screws, and then we'll get welded in. All right, guys, so we're just outside. It's the final weekend for work on the Cougar for the next little bit, and then it's off to some indoor storage, just until probably after my fiance's wedding, and then the plan is to hop back into it with doing all the sheet metal replacement. That wanted to replace this quarter up to here, so it'll come off. That'll go replace these fenders, this hood. It looks, I popped a bunch of the Bondo that was in here. It was rusty underneath. Sprayed some rust converter, but it looks like the car had been in an accident somewhere. There's all Bondo in here, and this fender got shoved this way into here, and it bent this and this. The hood, I want it to be really straight, and while we could probably fix this, I found a really good deal on the fenders, hood, and rear quarters, so I'm going to replace all of that, and then so yeah, that's what we'll be getting back on when we get back to the car. The hope is to tub out the rear end. Got some other plans, we can talk about those later. So basically this side, we got the floor in, and it's just sitting in there right now. The metal's all cleaned up and sprayed with the weldable primer, and I left it above the line bare just so it welds a little better, because the primer really tends to contaminate some of the welds. It does weld, but not as nice as bare metal, so I sprayed underneath that just to make sure it's got some protection on it for now, and then we'll clean it up on the underside when we get the chance. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through with Tex self-tapping screws. We're going to screw it all in here, have some holes in it, and we'll spot weld it in, and then we'll take out the screws and fill in those with weld as well. And then on the other side, basically the same thing happened to the first side, except I know where all the lines are now, so this all will get peeled off from here, this line. It'll come up, cut down at an angle. We want to try keeping the original seatbelt mounts. That's basically what we're going to do, but I showed you guys the first side, so I'll probably just do this side and then catch you back up when we're putting the self-tapping screws and getting ready to weld everything in. End of the first day here, end of the first day of the last weekend. We got the trailer, it's all hooked up. And then I got all this cleaned up so far. So it's the final day here, and we might still weld in the passenger side floor that we did all that work to on the frame and everything. The driver's side floor, we took another look at it, and the work I did back in high school isn't quite up to snuff, so we're gonna just use the self-tapping screws, and we're gonna screw it in, and then so it's just in there nice and sturdy. It's nothing's like loose and is gonna fall out or anything. Like, there's a lot of structural integrity there. It's just not quite right and the way I want it to be for when I'm actually driving it. So we're just gonna put it in the floor. We're gonna self-tapping screw it in so it stays in place. This side will probably still get welded in at least a bit, and also self-tapping screws. And then we're gonna fill it with its own parts and bring it to storage. We're kind of running out of time, so that's why we're not just pulling everything out right now and redoing it. But overall, it'll be fine. But yeah, so that's the goal, is to get this thing onto that trailer and to storage today. And we have less time than I thought we did, just because of the way everything worked out with returning the trailer and time on the storage place. So yeah, we're gonna just hop right into it. Yeah. So yeah, we got all the self-tapping screws in that we want for now. We're gonna end up pulling this back out and straightening that a little bit more. I think there's one of the tabs on the frame rail extensions bent upwards. So we're not going to bother welding it because we're out of time anyway. We're going to hop in that side. We're going to do the same thing so that the floors are in there securely. And then I'm going to fill it with its own parts. They're in the garage over there. And we've got to get it on the trailer and gone to the storage unit. So yeah, we're just going to hop on that and I'll catch up with you guys when it's done. All right, so that's it's in really janky. But like I said, we're really short on time. Unfortunately, they're not going to be welded in at all this time, and we'll just do it when he gets back out because we have to rebuild that side anyway. I'm going to pull the torque box and frame rail off and everything and redo it all properly the way we did this side. All right, so we got all loaded on the trailer here. We're pretty much ready to go. We're just going to make sure everything's strapped down fully. It's all full of its own parts. It's got a full interior and everything in there. Yeah, just wanted to show you guys the car, get everything kind of set up for the future for when we're working on it. Sorry about the wind. And when we pull this back out, we're going to be doing a lot to it. I basically am planning to build it as like a street legal drag car kind of deal, but we'll get more into that later. So we will be doing a giveaway for 100 subscribers that I mentioned in the last video. When we get to 100 subscribers, I'll make a video and you guys will just comment on it and I'll pick someone randomly. So we're at 50 right now, so if you share the video with your friends and anyone who you think might enjoy it, and if they like it, they can sub. And then when we get to 100, we'll do the giveaway, and it's going to be a Chemical Guys detailing kit. Currently not sponsored. I wrote them, but they're kind of out with the size of the channel. They're going to be into doing it. But I'm going to be giving away a Chemical Guys detailing kit. I'll show you more about it in the next video where the giveaway it will be officially announced, I guess. And yeah, so be sure to keep tuning in. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.